In a world where water is essential yet increasingly scarce, World Water Day serves as an important reminder of its preciousness. As climate change accelerates and populations burgeon, the imperative to join forces across borders in safeguarding this vital resource becomes ever more urgent. The repercussions of water scarcity and pollution reverberate globally, heightening tensions between communities and nations. This year's World Water Day, with the theme Water for Peace, underscores the transformative power of collaboration by prioritizing cooperation, countriesseek, cultivating harmony, bolster prosperity, and also fortify resilience in the face of common challenges. And for more on the significance of World Water Day, let's speak with Executive Director, Reverend Development, Philip Jakpor, who joins me virtually. Glad to have you join us on The World Now.
It's a pleasure being here again.
Right. So the theme for this year's World Water Day is Water for Peace. There are concerns about a WHO figure of about 2 billion people lacking access to safe water and sanitation. What's your say about the statistics, taking into consideration disparities that we have in various environments?
Well, I think the theme for this year is very, very apt in the sense that it is explanatory on its own. If you have adequate water, there will be peace. If the efforts to guarantee access to all involves everyone, there will be peace. Now, the figures, those figures you mentioned are the global figures. For Nigeria, I think the United Nations last year was explicit that about 2/3 of our population, that is about close to about 140 million people or so, do not have access to adequate water. So what that means is that the theme for this year should push our government to start looking at collaborative efforts. And collaborative in this sense must include the people. We are witnesses, for instance, when there was this national water bill before Parliament. There was a lot of uproar across the Federation on the lack of inclusiveness of that bill before it was finally jettisoned by the National Assembly. So this is a wake-up call to governments at all levels in fashioning solutions to the water crisis that we are experiencing as a people. You need to involve people, involve religious leaders, because water, of course, religious purposes, pollution, every other thing. The rivers, we have to protect our rivers. We have to protect our streams from pollution. Things happening in the Niger Delta, effluents dislodged into our rivers. It must be a collaborative effort to ensure that everyone has access to this free gift of nature.
So WHO figure also says about 3.6 billion people also lack access to safely managed sanitation services, that's clean water and an environment to package this water. What are your thoughts on the rising cost of packaged water and even, fake drinks and other minerals? We're bringing it back to Africa, bringing it back to Nigeria. How do we address this issue? And also, if you could quickly add the issue of accessibility in many underserved communities also.
Well, I think for decades, we've had governments at both state and federal level just mounting investment in the water sector. Water is indispensable to life. There must be a lot of collaboration to make water adequately available for everyone. But in doing this, I think what government must do is ensure that people are involved in the process. That is what is missing. That's the missing link in all of this. Water privatization is one of the things that we have seen a lot of state governments start looking at. And this privatization looks away from the fact that we've been having investments in that sector. Every year, every state government is talking about what they've voted for water. And you don't see any of that in other than the day of commissioning of boreholes, taps. the water rushes, and after that, nothing. So we must start seeing sincerity. The lack of access to water, like the WHO mentioned, has implications on health. You mentioned the issue of sanitation. They are closely linked. When people cannot have access to adequate water, it leads to a lot of ailments that
All right,
follow, because
Mr.
people will
Jakpor,
start looking
I'm
at
sure we
unwholesome
have
sources.
a lot more
Yes.
to do as regarding providing safely managed sanitation services, especially to those in underserved communities, those facing displacement, to those in the IDP camps. But I hope this will be resolved soon. Well, thank you for joining us on The World Now. I have been speaking with the Executive Director, Revlin Development, Philip Jakpor. Thank you for your thoughts on the news at this hour.
Thank you for having me.
And finally, on The World Now.